Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Spooky Sunday video. I hope you're having a really good day today, and if you're not, then I'm sending you all my love and hopefully this video will cheer you up. If you are new to my channel and you've never seen my face before or any of my videos, hello, my name is Khlo. We do spooky scary videos on Sunday. It's called Spooky Sunday and it's stuff like paranormal, true crime, scary legends, cults, that sort of vibe. So if you like the sound of that, then please remember to subscribe, and if you're a returning subscriber, hello. Thank you for coming back, I love you. But in today's video, we are going to be reading some stories, and the title drew me in, as I said in the last video, and it says, 19 people share true life horror stories that are scarier than any movie. I don't think I'm gonna read all 19, but I will have the source linked in the description in case you wanna go and read some, or I could possibly do a part 2. Let me know if you want a part 2. If we enjoy this video, I might. But without further ado, let's get on into today's video, and I hope you all like it. Okay, so let's go on to the first one. It says, he wasn't a real mailman. When I was maybe 10 or 11, I was homesick from school and was on the couch watching TV when the doorbell rang. It was the mailman. He told me that we had gotten a package, but it was too big, so he needed help carrying it. I wasn't that old, but I knew right away something was wrong. I asked him where his truck was because I didn't see it parked outside the front. He kept telling me it was around the corner. I asked him why the regular mailman, who always brought lollipops, wasn't here, and I was told he was visiting family. He kept telling me to open the front door, but I politely told him that I wasn't feeling well and that I wasn't allowed to leave the house. I told him we would pick up the box from the post office, and he was telling me how much of a hassle that would be and how my mom would want me to do this for her. I told him that I would come outside, but that I had to get my shoes from upstairs first. I closed the front door and locked it. Then I ran through the house and locked the back door, and I called my neighbour who worked from home. She was a close family friend, and I called her up screaming into the phone that she had to come over right now. And then I stood at the locked front door and stared at the man through the window in the door. He saw me staring and yelled through the door asking if I had found my shoes. So I yelled to him that I'd called my neighbour to help carry it because she's older and stronger. He turned around and ran. They never caught him, and I always wondered if he ever managed to trick some other kid. Ew, how the heck did he... What if this person had been stalking him? I don't know if it's a girl or a boy, so I'm going to call them them. But what if he had been stalking them? Because how else would he know that they were home from school? Like, how else would he know that they're home from school on that specific day to do the mailman thing? Surely they wouldn't just do it by chance. I think there's like a deeper story there, that he could have been stalking them. I don't like that one. That one gives me bad vibes. Next one says, bodies in the road. I was driving a shortcut from 29 Palms, CA to Albuquerque, NM. I almost couldn't pronounce Albuquerque then. Like, it's not spelled how it sounds. But anyway, Albuquerque. Albuquerque is such a nice word. Right, close, shut up. 29 Palms is located in the desolate high desert east of LA. The shortcut was completely a 2-lane road through total nothingness except for passing through Amboy, CA. Amboy is a nearly abandoned town, nearly as far below sea level as Death Valley, with a dormant volcano and lava field on one side and a salt flat on the other. It was also, at the time, a hotspot for satanic group activity. So I was driving by myself in the afternoon. I stopped in Amboy and snapped a picture of the city sign just to prove that I was there to friends who dared me to take that route to I-40. I got back in my car and proceeded to drive up into the mountain range between Amboy and I-40. Once I reached the top, I am driving north through a canyon with high grass on both sides of the road. Up ahead, I see some stuff in the middle of the road. As I approach, I slow down to see a red Pontiac Fiero, I hope I've pronounced that right, stopped sideways across both lanes with a suitcase open with clothes scattered everywhere and 2 bodies lying face down in the road. A man and a woman. I stopped 100 feet or so away and the hair on the back of my neck is standing up. Being a Marine, I reached under the seatbelt and pulled out a 9mm pistol and chamber around. Something seemed very wrong. It looked too perfect, as if it was staged. An ambush? Was I being paranoid? Something was just wrong. Getting out of the car seemed to be unthinkable. It was the horror movie move. As I scanned the road, I saw a line I could drive. Past the guy in the road on his left, swerved to the right of the woman behind the Ferrero, and I'd be on the other side. I dropped it into first gear, punched it and drove the line I planned. I passed the back of the Ferrero without hitting it or either of the bodies in the road. I continued forward a couple hundred feet and slowed down so I could breathe and let my heart rate slow down. As I looked up into the rearview mirror, I saw that the 2 bodies had gotten up to their knees and 20 or so people emerged from the tall grass on either side of the road by the car and bodies. At that moment, my right foot smashed the gas pedal to the floor and did not let up until I had slowed down for the I-40 East on-ramp. I will never know what would have happened to me had I gotten out of the car to check on the bodies or stopped my car closer to them. Somehow, I do not think it would have been good. Sometimes real life can be scarier than a movie. I need to switch my eyelash because it's itching me, but what? That sounds like real life Wrong Turn. I haven't watched Wrong Turn in many years, so I can't fully remember what happens, but I know that there's people in the woods that like kidnap you and they're very strange. But it sounds like real life Wrong Turn or a cult. And imagine if they got out the car. Oh my god. My dumbass would have got out the car. Actually, I don't know. I probably would have parked there, locked the car and rang the police. But by the time the police got there, they could have got into my car and got me. So my dumbass would die regardless, or be kidnapped, because I wouldn't know how to get around them. And also I'd be worried that it was real and then I would accidentally run them over and then I would get in trouble. Like, what a situation to be put in. That's insane. I actually think that would make a really good movie. The next one says, a group of people blocked the road. Something sort of like this happened to me. Once when I was still too young to drive, my mom came to pick me, my sister and our friend up from a concert at a local bar. It was around 2 AM as we were driving back to our neighbourhood, which was in the middle of nowhere. Seriously, we didn't even live close to the city limits. There weren't any streetlights near our neighbourhood, or really for a 5-mile span around where we lived, so it was always pitch black. We were driving along this street when we come up over a hill and my mom starts slowing down. Naturally, we start asking her why we're slowing down, and she points ahead to the road at the bottom of the hill and tells us she's trying to figure out what's happened up ahead. We look and all we can see is this huge mass of people walking around in the middle of the road, completely blocking it. Someone even had a torch, I kid you not. My mom slows down almost completely and starts flickering her lights, hoping they'll move, but they don't. So she did a quick U-turn and we went a different way. To this day, I still have no idea what those people were doing. Again, another one that literally sounds like Wrong Turn or a cult. What if it was the same people and they just go and do it in different locations trying to kidnap people? These stories are scaring me. They're scaring me and I'm home alone and I'm scared. I'm gonna move on because I'm creeped out. This one says, the murderer followed her. I already know I'm gonna be creeped the fuck out by this, but let's read it. This happened to a friend of mine a few days ago. One night, this girl was walking around the city when she started to suspect she was being followed. She went into a hotel lobby to try and shake the guy off. She told the staff what was happening and they insisted on calling the police. The police finally find him and take him up for questioning. They check surveillance footage to see if he was actually following her. He was, and they arrested him. The next day, they get a positive DNA match for a number of crimes around the city. Turns out he was the murderer around Leeds who had killed 3 people in the last 3 weeks. Leeds? That's here. Well, not here. I'm not in Leeds, but Leeds is in the UK. I've never heard that story. Has anybody heard of that? When was that posted? Is there a date? There's not a date. Has anyone heard of a murderer from Leeds that's killed 3 people? Thank God there was a hotel and she went into the hotel, because if she'd have just thought, oh, I'm being paranoid and carried on walking home, who knows what would have happened. Not only did she save herself, she saved potential victims from this nasty murderer man. We love her. She is a hero. But yeah, that really creeped me out. Okay, this is the last one that I'm going to read, and it says, creepy things in the old house. My significant other grew up in a house built in the 1800s. All his life he had a hinky feeling about the coal cellar, a tiny little room off the furnace room. When it came time to sell, our contractor/friend asked if we wanted the slates pulled up in that room and a new cement floor poured. We said sure, and they pulled up the slates only to find a much newer concrete slab had been poured underneath. My significant other completely backed out and had the slabs put back down. Some things are better left undisturbed, I guess. Everyone who spent time in that house saw or heard things. It was mostly completely Bennigan? I don't know what that word is, but it's written like Bennigan. Anyway. Every time I passed by his parents' room, I saw out of the corner of my eye 2 or 3 people in older dresses standing around that room. Then I heard another friend who had house sat for us say the same thing. I even took down the drapes and rearranged the room thinking it was a trick of light and shadow, but nothing helped. Same friend, staying alone there, said he was awakened by people shouting at him. I'm glad that never happened to me. Probably the weirdest thing was when my significant other was getting ready to sell the house, remodeling the kitchen, selling off antiques, etc. He was standing near the fireplace with an antique dealer, pretty much a stranger, and there was a largish 4-inch carved wooden horse mounted above it. It had been there for 40 to 50 years. Suddenly the horse jumps about 3 feet from the wall to land at their feet. It wasn't like the nail finally loosened and the horse fell down. It jumped away from the wall. Freaky. Probably the most disturbing was when my father-in-law was pushed down the stairs. The basement was creepy enough. A warren of rooms ranging from the furnace room, the coal cellar, what must have been the wine cellar, etc. but that's where my father-in-law had his workshop set up. The stairs were steep and a bit treacherous. My significant other and I were living elsewhere, as was my father-in-law, but he still used the workshop on occasion. He claims one night he was going down the stairs and felt a hand on his back push him down the stairs. He broke his leg, which took over 6 months to heal. I might discount this if this was someone inclined to woo, but my father-in-law was an atheist and a scientist. Okay, so that's that story. I don't know what a woo is. I'm guessing they mean someone that believed in religion, but I don't know how that relates to literally anything. But I feel like that would be a good horror movie. I love a good spooky, scary skeleton house horror movie. I don't know, I really like watching haunted houses as horror movies, but then I can never sleep for a week. And I have to sleep with the light on and have someone take me to the kitchen if I get thirsty. But I do think haunted house horror movies are really good. I just feel like sometimes people either cast the wrong people or they just do it wrong. The Conjuring, I think, was quite a good one. I know some people might disagree, but I think it was quite good. I also really like the Warrens, and the fact that the Warrens are real people that did those things. I feel like that's really interesting. But yeah, that was a little bit of a rant. Anyway, these are all stories that could be made in horror movies, so let me know what you think down below. Do you think that any of these would be good horror movies? I think at least 2 of them could be good horror movies. The house one and the bodies in the road one I think would be really good. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please remember to smash a massive thumbs up. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, I will see you all soon. Peace.